This is the Fox 54 Week in Review. I'm Kenesha Dees. It's been a busy week in North Alabama, and the next half hour will take you through some of the stories we've covered in our newscasts, including one of the world's largest retailers of ladies' intimate apparel is looking to Tanner to supply them with a major component of its lingerie. We'll take you to the farm's owners and their sheer delight. And we'll pop in on even more Christmas festivities across North Alabama as we inch closer and closer to the big day in the end of 2023. But our big story concerns the painstaking wait for closure in the Steve Perkins shooting in Decatur. More than 2 months of waiting finally came to an end for the Perkins family when the mayor of Decatur announced disciplinary action for the police officers involved. It capped off several days after the initial deadline for that announcement had passed. We'll wind back the clock and start a recap with Saturday when a group from Birmingham joined in the call for action.
There should be no reason why this family should have to have a float in honor of Steve Perkins.
Community organizations gathering from near and far in Decatur ahead of tonight's annual Christmas parade and Monday night's Decatur City Council meeting, where Standing in Power co-founder Anissa Sophia says this is not necessarily a very jolly season for some members in the Decatur community.
They expect for us to just let this die down because it's winter time, it's Christmas time. We're not making a joyful noise.
It's been 2 months since Steve Perkins was shot and killed by Decatur police, and Black Lives Matter Grassroots National Field Coordinator Bob Akili says they're demanding 3 simple things:
transparency and justice and accountability. And Mr. Mayor, you know, it's not like this is some dark secret. You know what happened, you know it was wrong, and you know that those officers need to be held accountable.
Black Lives Matter Grassroots Rapid Response Coordinator Andrew Joseph knows exactly what the Perkins family is going through because he's had firsthand experience.
My 14-year-old son was killed while in the custody of Hillsborough County Sheriff's Department down in Tampa, Florida. There's no feeling in the world than to have to stand there and talk to that cement wall or talking to that ground with no answers.
And looking ahead to Monday night's Decatur City Council meeting, these community organizations are pleading that Decatur's mayor do the right thing.
One, we're calling that the mayor of this city, we know that he has to make a decision on Monday, and Mayor, I hope you make the right decision. And understand that if you don't make the right decision, there will be consequences for your decision that's being made.
Who's got the power?
We got the power.
Who's got the power?
We got the power.
In Decatur, Jasmine Bird, Fox 54 News. The latest update is disciplinary hearing has begun for police who shot and killed Steve Perkins 2 months ago. Decatur City Council President Jacob Ladner made the announcement of the hearing's commencement that preceded the City Council meeting. Here's how it sounded in the chamber when Ladner made the announcement.
As we discussed last week, the determination hearings in regards to the officers involved with the Steve Perkins death were started today, as we said, the week of October 4th. As I understand it, we're still in that process, so there would not be any type of announcement tonight. Because of that, and let me finish, the mayor is not going to be here tonight to have some form of try to remain neutral in this case. So that was the word I was given to share with everyone here tonight. But I would expect, and I hope I would expect some information on that in the short term, not in a city council meeting, but I hope there will be an announcement made in the next few days in regards to those hearings. So,
over 24 community members signed up to speak during the public input portion of the meeting.
When I say this is a wake-up call for Decatur, Alabama, it's because it took a man to get killed and get brutalized by Decatur police.
Our heart is hurting. Christmas is coming up. My aunt, she can't give Steve a present. His wife can't give him a present.
Our Sedona Meadows joins us live in the studio. And Sedona, you actually spoke with Perkins' wife. How is she doing?
Well, Kenesha, Kettle Perkins and her family are doing as best as they can right now, waiting for answers while grieving the loss of Steve Perkins. She described her husband as someone who helped anyone.
Kettle Perkins met her match.
It was just the connection.
Steve Perkins, some years ago.
We had a lot in common. We both are silly, both love, family is the number one thing in our lives.
And they formed a family of their own.
I just love that about him. He was strictly about family.
A family where sports are a center of connection.
9 times out of 10, we might be outside playing basketball or at a game or just at a park.
But this life they built all changed in the early morning of September 29th.
I was actually working night shift when this happened. I was at work.
When Steve Perkins was shot outside of his home by Decatur police, and according to law enforcement, later died at Huntsville Hospital. DPD says these officers were called to the scene by a tow truck driver trying to repossess Perkins' truck. But the family argues they were at the wrong house.
They've completely destroyed our family by a senseless act. It should have never happened.
Since then, residents of Decatur have gathered in protest for answers as to what happened that morning.
I'm just thankful and grateful because they don't have to be out there, but they see just what everyone else saw. It wasn't right, and they're standing up.
Showing just how loved he was in the community.
He never met a stranger, and he would help anyone.
But the Perkins family and their attorneys say they expect more from city officials. Right now, they're awaiting decisions from the mayor for possible disciplinary action of the officers involved in the shooting.
I think it's incumbent upon the mayor to lead and delay in the face of what is clear makes it very difficult for people to feel satisfied in what's going on. And that, I think, is a very important thing that gets considered from the top down.
Kettle says although they yet to have closure, she's motivated to get up every morning for her kids.
I know I have to get up. I have to be strong for them.
The Decatur community has been urgently waiting for Mayor Tab Bowling to make a decision on if any disciplinary action will be placed on the officers involved in the death of Steve Perkins. Here's the decision he came to this evening at a press conference.
3 of the officers involved have been terminated. 1 officer, who based on the facts of the case was found to be involved to a lesser degree, has been suspended. These actions are effective immediately.
The city's attorney clarified the suspension for the 4th officer will not be paid. Members of the Perkins family and one of their attorneys were present outside of City Hall after the announcement.
It's just extremely disappointing. It is an extremely disappointing thing not to allow the family of the person who you killed into a press conference when you're about to announce what you're going to do to the people who killed him. We're here because Stephen Perkins is not. How we can be happy about the fact that people that killed him got terminated and one of them didn't is beyond me. We can't be happy at that. We'll never be happy about the fact that they didn't protect Stephen Perkins. How is it that this family, how is it that they can be happy? How is it that this community can be happy? You can't be happy until there's accountability. And there's not accountability right now. There just isn't.
And Rodney Gordon, president of the Morgan County NAACP, also shared a few words.
This is great. All right, this is great for the city. This is great for the Perkins. It's great for the community. You understand what I'm saying? But this all could have been avoided. See, it took him 3 months to man up. He should have did this from the jump.
The city says these officers have 7 days to appeal these decisions, and if they choose to do so, their names will become public. Additionally, an attorney for the Perkins family says a lawsuit will be filed Friday. But for now, outside Decatur City Hall, Sedona Meadows, Fox 54 News.
This story does not end with the firing of the Decatur officers. Attorneys for the Perkins family say they intend to file a federal civil rights lawsuit against the city of Decatur and the officers involved as early as next week. We will be monitoring to see if any of the disciplined officers choose to appeal the mayor's decision. As always, stay with Fox 54 News and Fox54.com for continuing coverage of this and other stories that impact the Tennessee Valley community. Elkmont teen Mason Cisk has been denied a new trial. The motion for the new trial was originally filed for multiple reasons, including how Cisk's statements were gathered and used. You'll recall back in September, Cisk was sentenced to life without parole for murdering 5 family members in 2019. The youngest killed was just 6 months old. All right, well, it's that time again for Limestone County residents, and it comes around every 20 years. We're talking about voting for property tax renewal. This is not a new tax. This is just a renewal of the current property taxes already in place in Limestone County. It's a yes or no question on the ballot. This will be used for things like new building facilities within school districts and renovations.
And of course, we can't promote this vote. We can only talk about that it's taking place. Several areas had this tax today. It's divided up into different referendum questions, but basically is going to meet that state 10 mil match.
And the state has to have that 10 mil match as a requirement for school systems in the state of Alabama. Over in Marshall County, the body of a baby found in Pleasant Grove, dumped 40 years ago, is being exhumed. Investigators hope that DNA analysis may help connect a name or family to the little baby girl officials have named Angel Jane Doe. The body was found back in 1982, wrapped in a women's house coat and placed inside a cardboard box. It appeared to be full term. The Marshall County Sheriff's Office says the process to identify Angel Jane Doe may take months or even years, so they need your help. Anyone with information about the discovery of Angel Jane Doe is asked to call the Sheriff's Office at the number on your screen. It's a special day for Kids to Love at UNA and with UNA, the duo announcing a new education partnership today. Kids to Love's private licensed school, K-Tech, and UNA have teamed up to give K-Tech graduates an opportunity to further their education once they complete their K-Tech certifications. The agreement will also provide other benefits for K-Tech and its students. This includes a $2,000 scholarship for all regular full-time transfer students with a 2.75 or better transferable GPA.
This articulation we're signing today with UNA will transfer 16 of our credit hours that they will get here at K-Tech into UNA. So it really is a path, it continues the pathway that we've worked so hard to create for our students.
I think it's relationship building. We are constantly looking for partners because we want to support the community and support workforce development in North Alabama.
All right, congratulations to Kids to Love and UNA. Well, an exciting day for Tuscumbia City Schools. The district welcomed Alabama's first ever electric school bus. This new addition is part of the EPA's Clean School Bus program. Tuscumbia City Schools was the first state school system to place an order under the program, a program that granted nearly $1 billion to replace existing buses with zero emission and low emission models across the country. Alabama's school buses currently operate on fossil fuel.
Now, Fox 54 Top Teacher, sponsored by Calhoun Community College.
This teacher we're about to meet knew education was her calling when she was just a teen. It started with teaching someone near and dear to her, and that love for teaching has grown ever since. This week's top teacher is Erica McDonald from Madison Crossroads Elementary School. At Madison Crossroads Elementary School.
Hi.
Meet first grade lead teacher and top teacher, Erica McDonald.
Education is a place for someone who truly has the heart for children.
McDonald's Heart for Children goes about some 16 years. She was inspired by,
to be honest, my godniece, seeing like the light up in her eyes when I would help her with her homework. That just kind of made me feel whole inside.
She's a Huntsville native and earned her degree in Tennessee.
I went to University of Memphis, graduated there, and I taught at a school in North Memphis.
She later moved back to Madison County.
My family is my main reason. I work hard for them to make sure that they're doing well.
This is year 4 for McDonald at Madison Crossroads. She's powered through the pandemic and helped kids read.
The challenge was hard because coming into first grade, you know, you're expecting them to have some type of reading skills. But when I got here, I noticed that a lot of my students didn't.
McDonald said she learned some strategies to help her students when she taught kindergarten.
It gave me some ideas of how to get them on rhymes and onsets and how to get them started with sounds and recognition with letters.
And when she saw improvement,
it was more of a highlight for me to see that they saw their improvement, that they could be successful.
For McDonald, it's having a heart for children and a heart for teaching to meet the goal.
And you just gotta really love what you do, because every day is different. Every child is different. The behaviors are different. Their struggles are different.
All right, well, congratulations to Ms. McDonald, well deserved. Nominate a teacher who is making a difference in your child's life. Just visit fox54.com. All right, well, State Representative Jeremy Gray has filed a bill to let high school students earn money from their name, image, or likeness. These type of NIL bills are typically used for athletes in college and beyond. But Gray hopes House Bill 25 will help high schoolers get used to working with NIL deals in higher education and beyond.
Get Fox 54 Plus for Roku and Fire TV. Watch local newscasts live or on your schedule, plus local exclusives like the Valley's Top Teacher Series. Fox 54 Plus, live, local, and always on.
Brickmasters, here we are again asking our builders to create something beautiful and then destroying it.
Fox Thursdays. Lego Masters is back with a colossal new season.
That is huge.
And all the drama you can handle.
Oh, get out of here.
We have a problem. It's literally sink or swim. Please float, please float, please float. We got a minifig down.
All new Lego Masters, Thursdays on Fox, and watch anytime on Hulu.
Well, Victoria's Secret making ties with North Alabama. The multi-billion-dollar company is partnering up with Bridgeforth Farms in Tanner. Our Jasmine Bird takes us there.
Right here at Bridgeforth Farms, this is a fifth-generation Black-owned farm, and history is in the making with a new partnership. And it's not just any partnership, but it's a new unique partnership where Victoria's Secret is purchasing cotton directly from Bridgeforth Farms.
Meet brothers Billy and Greg Bridgeforth. After witnessing where the cotton is grown, we headed about 10 minutes down the road to Associated Growers, where the cotton is stored, the only cotton gin in Limestone County.
You know, we're dealing with a large corporation. You know, they sell billions and billions of dollars worth of apparel each year. But the main thing for them, they wanted to know where their cotton is coming from and who's producing it.
Talk to me about all the cotton that we see out here today. If you could give an estimate about how much cotton is out here that we're looking at kind of right now.
All the cotton out here is that the whole gin is about 10,000 bales. All of it is not our cotton, but we are standing in front of some of our cotton now.
Love that. And one last thing I do want to know, is this some of the cotton that will be used for Victoria's Secret?
Yes, it is.
The Bridgeforths produce cotton, soy, wheat, and it doesn't stop there.
We launched Bridgeforth Cotton in October of 2023. We have t-shirts, hoodies, sweatpants, sweatshirts, some of the finest quality, 100% cotton garments you'll ever find. And it's all made from the cotton we produce here in Tanner, Alabama.
In Tanner, Jasmine Bird, Fox 54 News.
Well, an overwhelming majority of House lawmakers voted to kick out George Santos out of Congress for ethics violation. And only 2 of the 7 Alabama lawmakers who voted today opted to expel George Santos. The yes votes came from Republican Robert Adderholt of Haleyville and Birmingham Democrat Terry Sewell. Huntsville's Dale Strong and 4 other Republicans voted to keep Santos. Congressman Adderholt said in a statement today that while the vote to expel weakens the Republican majority, quote, members of Congress must be held to the highest standards. This was an unprecedented situation and I believe required this unprecedented action, end quote. And today we heard from Alabama Republican Chair John Wall about this historic expulsion.
This is something we deal with on the Republican Party all the time, right? And that's the interface with elected officials and with governing bodies. And I think this is a situation where you see the U.S. Congress, they came together, they had the constitutional authority, They made a decision, and I respect that decision. And I think that's, obviously something that's hard. And there's a lot of drama surrounding anytime you're making a call like that. But I think they came together. There was a consensus. There was an overwhelming agreement, and it's going to hopefully be better for the entire body moving forward.
I have a lot of responsibilities to take care of today.
For bus riders like Meryl Chiavari, this free bus ride for a day is bringing a whole new meaning to life in more than just one way.
It helps me understand more about the catalyst of Rosa Parks and the action that she took. So it's benefiting not only myself, but a lot of other people and citizens in the city today. And I'm grateful.
Huntsville Transit serves the entire Huntsville community, regardless of race or background. And Huntsville Mayor Tommy Battle believes much of that is owed to Rosa Parks.
Rosa Parks' bravery brought forward integration of Montgomery's transit system and transit systems across the country. This week, we proudly pay tribute to her courage and her conviction for each of our fixed route buses. The sacrifices that she made and others made will never be forgotten.
For David Person with the Huntsville Rosa Parks Committee, commemorating the life and legacy of Rosa Parks by making Rosa Parks Day a national holiday is important.
Congresswoman Terry Sewell has introduced legislation that would make December the 1st Rosa Parks Day nationally, make it a national holiday. We think it's tremendously important because of what her sacrifice symbolizes. In particular, I focus on the idea that peaceful nonviolent resistance has been key to the transformation of the United States from a segregated society into an integrated society.
I salute Rosa and all of her efforts that she took to make this day happen.
In Huntsville, Jasmine Bird, Fox 54 News.
Rain led to the cancellation of the latter half of today's Winville festivities at Redstone Arsenal, but people did have the chance to get out this afternoon. The event hosts over 80 vendors, kids craft station, and even a chance to take a picture with Santa. Also, kidpreneurs are also featured to help spread the Christmas spirit.
I made paintings because I like to do that. It's like one of my biggest hobbies. And I made a bunch of cards at home with a lot of cool things because I like cards and I like when I receive them too.
When I was younger, people used to ask me where I got stuff from, like my skirts and stuff, and people used to buy it from me, and now it's just like a big business.
And the Rocket City's kicking the Christmas season off right. The annual Huntsville Christmas Parade was tonight. This year's parade featured more than 80 floats, animals, and marching bands. Fox 54 had a chance to speak with a few participants about their float ahead of the parade. Here's a listen.
We're the Alabama Youth Ballet, and we're doing the Nutcracker this December. And we have Calera's tree behind us, and then we got the Nutcracker, of course.
Our float is Grandma Got Ran Over by a Reindeer. We're going to be walking around passing out goodies throughout the parade and asking do they know which reindeer ran Grandma over.
Love the creativity. The theme for this year, Christmas through the decades. And it's that time of year again. Fox 54 joins forces with the Salvation Army at the Walmart location on Drake Avenue, ringing bells to raise money for local families. And get this, all the donations that are made to the Salvation Army Red Kettle Campaign, whether online or in person, goes back to the community. 100% of the proceeds go to the community.
Giving back is always something that is near and dear to the heart, especially to me. I can recall many, many years ago, the Salvation Army helped my family during a time in which we had a setback. And then I remember the next year, my parents made sure that my sister and I paid those dues back, and we've always volunteered.
Touching story by our sports director, Mo Carter. Well, all money raised today, tomorrow, and next week goes to local residents in Madison, Limestone, and all other surrounding counties in our viewing area.
All right, check this out. A festive follow-up on a story we covered earlier this year. The inaugural Ella the Elf Gingerbread House contest took place today. This event was born from the imagination of an Athens 7-year-old Ella, a Lindsay Lane Christian Academy student. She scheduled a meeting with Athens Mayor Ronnie Marks back in April to discuss her ideas and dreams and suggested the contest.
As we end this week in review, we remind you that there's so much more holiday joy to be found on Fox 54+, our streaming channel available on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV devices. From Christmas cooking ideas to how to take care of your favorite budding plants in the chilly winter air. We have many digital exclusives for you to unwrap now throughout the holiday season and every day. For now, on behalf of everyone at Fox 54 News, have a good weekend.